Hey, so I want to talk about the four fear responses, the four F's, which are fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. So each person in an abusive or dangerous situation is going to respond with one type that's more dominant. And for me, I was fawn first, which is to basically try to appease your abusers, like false flattery and like groveling and just like doing whatever they want, and this is what creates codependency. And then my second response was to freeze, and that combination of freeze fawn is very common for the scapegoat, and it obviously keeps you trapped in the situation. And then the fight response can keep you stuck in the narcissistic relationship if you are just trying to change them or just trying to fight with them. That's also not going to help you. And the flight response in the child, because they can't actually physically flee, is to disassociate, basically. So you just kind of like come out of your body. And I guess that's kind of similar to freeze in the sense that you're just not really doing anything, but you're like fleeing into your mind or like into your daydreams or whatever, because you can't actually physically flee the situation. And I just wanted to kind of talk about how, as an adult, like the only good option when dealing with a narcissist is to flee of the four F's. Like that's your no contact, or that's your low contact. You're just getting away from the person. And I think gray rock is also a method of fleeing, because you're not engaging with your emotions and you're withholding as much information from them as possible, because gray rock is just to give them whatever information you have to tell them, and then you don't give them any emotion. So I think that's actually a form of fleeing as well. And I was just thinking about how I thought it was like really cowardly to go no contact. Like for some reason I thought that that was like a, I don't know, like a cop-out response. But now that I'm thinking about the four F's, like flight is a very valid response to a situation, and I don't know why I was telling myself that I needed to like work it out or whatever. Maybe that's like the fawn aspect of me that was like, oh, I can appease them and then they'll stop abusing me and then everything will be okay. But the fawn response is not a solution. It's very temporary, and it might be good if someone's really dangerous, do the fawn, and then you're waiting for the opportunity to flee. Like that might work. But when you're only fawning and you have no game plan to leave, it's, you know, you're just gonna be staying in the situation. So I was just thinking about in nature how if a deer sees a wolf, it's gonna run. Like flight is a very valid response, and there are some animals that fight as their response. They can intimidate the predator, and I guess if they're both predators, maybe they can like scare the other one off. And then some play dead, which I think is the freeze response. I don't know if any animals do some kind of fawning thing where maybe they pretend to be like not threatening or something. I don't know. But flight is a very valid response, and it's not cowardly. That's actually the only correct option when dealing with a narcissist. Like when a deer sees a wolf, it's gonna run. It's not gonna, I don't know, try to have a relationship with the wolf. Like you see the predator, you're like, oh, I'm gonna leave now. And that, you know, it's not cowardly. There's nothing wrong with that. That actually is the valid response, and it's not a cop-out, or I don't know. I've just had so many people not say thank me necessarily directly, but just like society in general says like, oh, you have to try to work things out, and you can't just, you know, abandon relationship when things are bad. You have to like stick it out and like find a way to make it work. And I don't know, like you can't just leave. Like to walk away is to give up or quit or whatever, but like this is not a normal situation where things can't be worked out. This is a situation where staying is just going to mean more abuse. So flight is the only response when dealing with a narcissist. So hopefully it was helpful, and thanks for watching.